What's up? Hello. Hello, folks. Let's see. We got a few in here. I did see Jeremy make a comment earlier, and Brandon, and Jerry, and is there anybody else? Jack is here. So, anyway, this is probably a short stream. Going to unbox the Creality Falcon 240 watt that's sitting over there. Then we're going to plug it in and update the firmware. Then do some cutting tests and see how that goes. And then chit chat if anybody has anything you want to talk about. But I do want to let you know that this live stream is brought to you by Coca-Cola. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Coca-Cola. Delicious little chocolates sent to me by my friend Nathan. They come in these little pieces. And the best thing about it is, I'm going to read this to you so I don't get it wrong. This stuff is identically shaped tins, has kept the Germans awake since the 30s. Coca-Cola is chocolate with lots of caffeine, essentially a mild combat drug. Now, you can't get any better chocolate than that, I'm telling you. And you guys, Rich, LA Hobby Guy, is in my ear monitoring comments, so you might hear him, you might not, but if he sees anything, he'll pop it up on screen and let me know. And with all that out of the way, let's just get right into opening this box up. And hello, Jim, how are you? All right, I'm going to switch over to the other camera. My other camera's kind of far away, not too far away, but at an angle. Looking down, but there's not much assembly to this, so that's why I wasn't worried about getting any close-up shots. You just need a bird's eye view. And as usual, you will see the unboxing knife that so far has been used. Every unboxing video lately. And if you missed the last live stream, I did have some unboxing knife rules that I engraved on these. Do have the rotary. I'm not going to open that up, but there is a rotary for it. This is so satisfying using this little baby knife on such a big box. Try not to block the camera. Might need that again later. You never know when a wild animal might show up around here. I prefer to chase them down with a knife than try to use a pew-pew. It's just more fun. Falcon 2 Operation Guide. Right on top. Tutorials are in the user manual and TF card. Little case has TF card, tools. Get the laser module out of the way. It does come with an air assist. If you're going to manufacture a laser, include an air assist with it. That's one thing I was missing with the Wiz Maker when they sent that to review. It didn't have an air assist. It's just, you got to include it in the package. Have the feet and the feet extensions. That's the main part of the assembly there. Get all the foam out of the way. So there is a piece of metal to put underneath of it, at least. Would also be nice is if it had a honeycomb. They make a honeycomb for it, but yeah, that comes in a package that comes with the enclosure and the rotary. It's a big frame, that's for sure. Any comments? Anything I need to address?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Here's a bag of goodies with some wood, your focal gauge, a brush to clean the laser unit itself, USB cable, and the 4 feet leg extensions. And I knocked 2 of the legs off. There's one. Anybody see where the other one went?
It's right there.
Ah, there it is.
Told you.
Let's see. Now, when you put these legs in, you'll see there's 3 holes in each area where you would screw these in. You just want to make sure they're symmetrical. And let's say we put them all in the middle to start with.
Jim is asking what the airflow from the air assist is. I think on mine it was 30 liters per minute, Jim. I don't know if it says it in the manual or on the machine.
It does not say on the machine. One thing of note, it is a 24-volt air assist pump. So there could be a capability to provide some additional airflow over a traditional 12-volt.
I believe that was one of my questions that I sent them, that I sent Creality, and they said it was 30 liters per minute. Yeah. Some people were saying 60, and I didn't believe that.
There's air. Okay. All right. Well, what do I need? Laser module.
Not much to this one.
Nope, not at all. Try not to throttle that paper too much. Although it might be good for an ASMR unboxing video. All right, there's laser module. Pump. It is nice. They included some leg extensions in case you need a little more height. Let's see. Work with the TF card. Control from PC. Yeah, there's not too much of interest on that. Let's see, where's the USB? Right there it is. All right, so one thing we will do is update the firmware on the control board, and we'll also update the firmware on the laser module, because it actually has a USB-C port right there to update the firmware in the module.
Yeah,
I guess
I have to say this was the easiest firmware update I ever did.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. It has built-in monitors for the air, assist, fire, and lens. So the firmware is controlling those updates, or is affected by those updates. There's that. There. Inlet and out. The laser module is prohibited from hot plugging. Just so you know.
So make sure if the temperature is above 85, don't plug it in.
Do not plug it. That's funny. Yeah, I think that means something a little bit different. I should have put my glasses on.
I do like those metal clips on the top.
Yes, those are handy.
Yeah, they're reusable.
Let's see, is that plenty of travel each way? Yep. I do like that. Even have some handy Velcro here to keep these guys together. I also like that the air pump plugs into the machine itself. This is controlled by Lightburn for your air on and off.
Yeah, the little M8 box is up there on top of the gantry.
The little mate box.
The mate box.
All right. And then it has a little knob. Yep. Let that run. There's a little knob here to control airflow. So plus minus, you just spin this wheel. It will adjust your airflow.
I guess for some people that would come in handy. For me, I like to just keep it on high all the time.
I run the Ultimate Air Assist on my CO2. I like that it has just a little bit of airflow at all times, and then that's adjustable. Then when the air turns on, that's when it adjusts to the high flow.
Right.
So if you're engraving and you don't want high flow, then just leave it off, but it still is enough to keep your lens clean.
Yeah, they call that wind and blow.
Yeah.
The Chinese.
All right. Okay, it's put together. That's it. That's all it takes to assemble this guy. The only thing I didn't do was install the leg extensions. But if you needed a little extra height, and those are about 1 inch. All right, I'm going to carry this over and place it inside my CO2.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I just knocked the lid down. That's all. In order to fit the hybrid steppers that I installed in this cheap CO2, I had to remove one of the hydraulic one of the.
Don't forget to switch
arms.
cameras, Patrick.
Yep, I'm getting ready to do that right now.
Any of you guys coming to the LBX in the end of October to watch Patrick demo?
Hello, hello, Shawdell 3D, Jim. Who else showed up? Chris. Thank you for being here. All right. Okay, I'm going to download the firmware files now. I'll show you where those are. You have to go to crealitycloud.com. Then under the software and firmware, click 3D printed firmware, and then this stupid pop up here. Go to others here. Then we go to laser engraving. And we sort by Falcon 2. Then here is our firmware file. What we have to do, click that, download it. Show it in the folder. Let's extract it. Now it's extracted, and then you'll see the two different firmwares, one for the laser head and one for the control board. So then all I have to do is copy that to the trans flash card.
That's no excuse, Jim.
They included show you what they included in this little package. So this in this little toolkit, I have so many lights on so you can see the lasers. It'll wash all that out. So here is their little trans flash card, little micro USB that has all their data on it. Then of course that is regular USB. Then they also have the OTG adapter or the USB to USB-C adapter, so you could use the trans flash adapter into the USB-C adapter into the laser module. So at least they included all the hardware that you would need to update the firmware.
I'm going to ask to see that in a week and see if you can find it.
Luckily, I have several of them, so I'll have another one somewhere. But tell you what, my favorite little device is. I just wanted to show you guys this thing. It's made by NecTech. You can see it's USB-C on this side.
Yeah.
And on this side, you flip this little guard out of the way. Got fingers to do it. And then you can put your micro USB right in there. So then you've got an instant micro USB to USB-C device.
Mm-hmm.
And then to take that card out, you just slide this little lever. But these are great for trail cams. So if you're out inspecting trail cams, you can pop that little SD card in here and then plug this end into your, if you have an Android, plug it right into your Android phone and your USB-C, and then you can take a look at what's on your trail cam SD card while you're out in the field, copy it to your phone, put it back in, and be on your way. So that's why I originally bought this thing. I think that was before I even had a laser. So let's take a look and see what's on the card that they included. Was it Jack that said last time spyware, ransomware, or something like that? I think it might have been.
Yeah, those are usually false positives.
Yeah, he was making a joke. But there we have a user manual. See 2 operation videos, sample files. Okay. Can always open those up later. Recommended parameters. PDFs, not a library. Like, oh man, Lasermatic will spoil a guy, won't it? After sales tutorials. That would be like cleaning lenses and that kind of thing. All right, that's it. There are no bins on there.
I think you're looking for that software folder right there.
Nope.
Nope.
No, I'm just going through what's on their little SD card. So the first thing I think I'll do is just update the main firmware. Just be master. Then I'll check that. Then let's see. I'm going to use their card and their adapter. Make sure that works. I'm going to switch over to a different camera as soon as I get it turned on here. This thing is taking up more room inside my CO2 than what I anticipated. Just give me 1 minute. All right, there you go. So that is the Falcon sitting inside of my 600 by 1,000 CO2. Figured that would be the best instant enclosure that I could probably come up with. Now I just need to plug it in and give it power. With this tiny little power supply. See, it's a big boy. I told Rich earlier that I was going to try and cut a 4x4. Thought that would be really interesting.
I don't think you're going to be able to do that. That focus is going to be so wide down by the bottom of the 4x4. Won't even see it anymore.
It'd be like cutting a 4x4 with, like a little battery operated circular saw. You got to flip it around. Reach all sides.
Well, you know what? You probably could do that.
Yeah, see, that sounds like a challenge now. I think I'm going to have to.
Well, it's only 3.5 inches, really. So if you did it on all 4 sides, that should be no problem with the 40 watt.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Glasses. Trying to find my spectacles again.
Chris is saying that CO2 makes for a pretty expensive enclosure.
Yeah, it does.
And Steve is asking if you can start over again because he didn't get the alert on YouTube.
Sure. Shouldn't be a problem. You just have to give me a little bit to reset and put everything back in the box. Once I do that, it should be good to go. Oh, I was like, what's this thing doing? I forgot. It has professional mode where it has a key. See, it's called professional mode. And it's Patrick proof. Off, on. There we go. It's alive. It's going to beep until the firmware update is complete.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right.
I use the e-stop. I like hitting that button.
I like buttons. Well, you probably hit it with a hammer.
That's right.
The key, that was pretty satisfying. So I won't complain about that.
I don't think I have the key for mine anymore.
It's just stuck in the on position.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm going to copy the firmware for the laser module itself onto this USB drive.
One thing I do have to say is that Creality has probably the easiest firmware update that I've seen.
Yeah, that was not difficult at all. Just going to copy laser over to the USB drive. Now they recommend that you have a clean SD card, and they recommend formatting it before you do the firmware update.
Yeah, that's what I did for both.
But I'm going to be like the average user who will not pay attention to that and just do it without doing that. Because that's what people normally do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, that is ejected. Now let's go use this and this and update the laser firmware. All right, so it's turned off. USB is plugged in. Oh, I used the key. I forgot. All right, you see a bunch of blinky blinkies in that module while it's updating.
Is that smoke coming out of there?
I don't think so. I do have my fire extinguisher handy. It'd been really cool if the laser module made some beeps. That would have been really over-engineered.
Steve is saying that you have an impressive 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I might bring the beard back. I might not. I'm debating.
I
Been
say
a couple
go for
years. I think I might. Now I don't know how long this update
There you
normally
go.
takes.
That's about how long it takes.
Now, I can't remember if it stops flashing when it's done. Or what it
I
does.
believe it turned off when it was finished, the one that I did.
Yeah, it does something that's not in that same sequence there. And it could be I screwed it up because I didn't clean my SD card first. You never know. What's it going to do? Should probably double check and make sure that it doesn't do anything. Might already be done. Steve, you have a Falcon. Did yours stop blinking when the firmware update was done?
I think you bet he didn't update the firmware.
Say it should be done. Stop it, take it out, and restart it.
Steve says he doesn't remember. Well, what happened there was it went from flashing to solid for a few seconds and then back to flashing. So I think it may already be done.
Yeah.
It may have changed the process. I'm pretty sure mine turned off. Oh, it's the work.
Everything's looking all right there. Now I just got to get it connected to the laser or to the software. Get this thing out of there. Oh, it didn't like that I was moving it around, and so it shut itself off. Forgot it has all those. It has all those crazy alarms.
Oh.
You know,
I hit that rocker switch is so easy to throw. And that damn E-stop is right in the way when you reach in. I can't tell you how many times I've hit that E-stop with my arm.
There, now it's back up and running.
Yeah, the question is, why do you need an E-stop when you have a key right next to it?
Because you could be like Rich and lose your key. Throw it out.
Jerry's saying, look, we have 3 blinking lights and a backup alarm. Actually, Jerry, those 3 lights are sort of important. One of them senses fire. I guess that's not important. But one of them is a lens. They have like a little sensor underneath the module that when that sensor gets dirty, it turns that light to yellow and then red. So you have to clean your lens.
And I do have one blinking right now. And that is the air. So it's sensing that there's no air.
Yeah.
Now, there's no air because it hasn't been told to start blowing air.
Right.
So that's why that would be flashing at this point in time.
And that'll actually go from red to yellow to green, depending on how much air you use.
All right, and now I just need to find the USB-C cable that I just had to plug this thing in. Did anybody see where I put that USB-C cable?
Right over there.
See, this is like a day in the shop with me. You get to experience what I typically go through is where did I put this? Where did I put that?
To the right. To the right a little bit. No, to the left. Right there.
Right there? Well, I just had it. I don't know where it went.
Chris says it's right over there by the other bit.
Next to the other bit. Of course it is. Man, it's always in the last place I look.
Jeremy's saying it's on the other side.
On the other side?
And Jim disagrees. Jim agrees with you. It will be in the last place you look.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that is. Every time.
Well, I have a ghost in the shop that likes to move things all over the place. I know I put something somewhere, and then I find it on the whole other side of the shop.
This would be much easier if I could see.
Agreed, Jack. Agreed. I spend more time walking around, too.
Yep. Seems like it's all I do. Okay, that is connected. I've got an extension that goes to the PC. Now, I don't know if it's on the SD card, but I did find in the Creality Falcon Facebook group, there is a Lightburn device file for the Falcon 2. So that is a positive.
Yeah, it wasn't on my SD card. I can remember. I remember that. But it was downloadable from their website.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this the old-fashioned way because I've got all my inputs used up. All right, let's just add this to Lightburn real quick. So devices, imports. I put this. Should be here. And Google Drive didn't sync. I know it's there, but Google Drive didn't sync it. Too many devices.
Yeah, once you get past 3 or 4, you can't even do the Find My Laser anymore.
There's one more time. And nope, decided it didn't want it. Which is no problem. Just have to do that the old-fashioned way. Why does everything have to be so difficult? Just sync already.
You're on a live stream, don't forget.
That is true. Very true. But just so you can see, let me hear. Here's my Google Drive, and here's that same folder, and right there is the device file.
Oh, we believe you.
So I'm going to copy that. I just fill time here so people don't get too bored. Show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to put it on that SD. I don't know why all that crap's on there anyway. All right, now I'm going to plug this into the other PC. See, I have 3 computers that I got synced with Google Drive, and for some reason, this one didn't want to sync today.
I like having my own NAS.
All right, I imported it. There it is. So now, plug the laser back in, and hopefully it recognizes it. And there it goes. It is homing. All right, just homed itself. What do we want to cut first?
A 4x4.
In the request? 4x4?
Now, let's see how it does with a 3/4 inch piece of wood. You got one of those?
I have a 1/2 inch, and I have a full 1 inch piece of poplar.
There you go.
And I should have a 3/4 inch somewhere around here. Turn on my exhaust fan. I'm gonna need it. Let me open up my blast gate. All right, blast gate is open.
7 foot. That's cool, Jerry. 7 foot.
This focusing gauge does not have a marking for a 4x4.
I wouldn't imagine it does.
There's no marking for 1 inch or 4 inches. Let's see, it does have for 1 to 3 millimeters, 4 to 6, and over 6. But here is a piece of 1/2 inch rough cut poplar that's actually from sawmill. I have a full 1 inch piece right there.
You're basically just going to want to get as close to the wood as you can without.
Yep. I mean, I have a 2x4. I happen to be laying here. Then I have some various plywood, 3 and 6 and 5.
Patrick, I've got a bunch of appointments at 9 o'clock tomorrow, which you know already, and I've got to get a project done tonight, so I'm going to be jumping off here.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
For a little bit. I appreciate it.
Okay. Have fun, everybody.
All right. One thing that I do not like about modules like this, that I'm spoiled with and I hate to mention again, the Lasermatic, is just the adjustment knob where you can adjust the height at the top and you're not having to mess around with these ones on the side. But that's okay. First world problems. All right, let me see. I'm going to have to start from current position. Let me jog it. Seems like I get the move tab pulled up here. All right, we're jogging. Cool. All right, the exhaust is on. Air should work. Any particular shape you want me to cut out, or you want me to just go with the circle or a square? Let me do a square and all right, frame the square. Have it set the output. I have air assist turned on. I have no idea what parameter it needs to run at to cut that. I need to look at their recommended parameters. Let's see. And the reason I have this laser is I'm supposed to make some projects for Creality and then kind of help them out a little bit at the Lightburn experience. Baby shark. Yeah, I could do that. Then we should all make baby sharks and just ship them to Rich. I think that would be great. He would love it. So they're saying cutting speeds 150. All right. I'm going to do power at 100%, speed at 100, and see what happens. And here we go. That's not going to cut because I still have it set to millimeters per second. You swap that, and that translates, of course, 100 times 60 is 6,000. We're not going to cut at 6,000 millimeters per minute. Let's try 100. And you'll notice the air light did turn green since the air assist did kick on. I'm trying to get back over here to comments while that's running. Baby elephant. What's the difference between how a baby elephant versus a regular elephant looks? All right, it did cut through the 1/2 inch. So that was no problem. Should we test it with a 1-inch piece? Might need a little more air than what that pump can produce. Who knows? Let's go with a 1-inch piece of poplar and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to change it to absolute coordinates. And let's see. Put it in the center. Let's frame that. Oops. Just the home at first. All right, now let's frame it. All right, let me run it there. If this is successful, I'll try to cut a baby elephant out of 1-inch poplar. I already lost a little focal gauge to this slide. All right, there that is. Let's see. I'll drop the speed to 50 and we'll see what happens. Then I guess that should be it. And click go. I do want to change the end position real quick. I like whenever the job finishes that it heads to the opposite side. Make it. All right, I'm going to click start and then watch this on the camera. Watch on the camera with you guys. Oh, and it didn't like something. Probably too much smoke. Clear that alarm. Might be just a little bit too smoky that close to the laser head. So I'm going to run it at 100 and then run 2 passes and see how it does. 100 speed, that is. Let's just run one first, then I'll run another one. But there's a little bit of smoke there, not too much. The running faster seemed to have helped it with that alarm. I noticed that, Chris, whenever the fire alarm, when it alarmed, it did move out of the way and shut itself off. Not through yet. Yep, there it did it again. Oh, that's pretty good. Fire alert, fire alert. It seems like it doesn't like a lot of smoke hanging around that lens. Although you can see from the, I don't know, can you tell the glow below the piece of wood that the beam has made it through? So it is cut through on that second pass. Yep, it smells really good. I think to do a 1-inch piece, it'd be smart to hook it up to my air compressor. I don't know. I'm experimenting. I don't know much about this thing. As far as cutting the thick wood and the alarms. Take a look at it. There's the backside. It definitely made it all the way through, and it's like those next couple passes were charring the wood a little bit. So good on it. I'm not complaining. You can see how fast it'll cut some 5mm plywood. Did not mean for that to swing down like that, but lighter color piece of wood. Okay, gotcha. All right, we'll just go with this one first. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. I promise I'll be right with you. This will be a surprise. All right. I think I'm ready. All right, we're framing. And I'm going to run a line and then cut the piece of wood out. Rather than do a fill, I'm just going to do a line. And let's see. And this one will be. All right, and then I'll hit start. Okay, this is running a line at 500mm per minute and 50% power. I just wanted to run it to see what it would do. I didn't get any lasers on it. I didn't want to waste too much of your time. But it looks like it's pretty much cutting that thing out at 500 speed and 50% power. That's what we're going to find out. Next, I want to run this same baby elephant with a line that's much faster and just check the quality of it. And then the outer shape is cut out, so we'll run the cut faster than what it was ran this time, which, let's see, I think I ran it at 500 speed and 100% power, just to compare. 50% power versus 100% at 500 speed. Should be almost done. It was almost wanting to come through the back. It was almost cutting it out. So those lines are definitely too dark. So let's run that line faster and run that cut faster. So it can definitely go faster. I'll just move the board. That's good. Let's make our elephant line 2000 speed. And maybe double it. Let's go to 800, see what happens. So now it's tracing the outline of the elephant at 2000 speed, 50% power. Hopefully a little less burny. And the cut is running at 800 speed, and that is the 5mm, like that underlay plywood. So it's not the greatest stuff for laser engraving, but it makes for cheap custom materials. So 800 speed was a little too fast. It didn't quite cut through. It's kind of where we at? Yeah, it was kind of wanting to. And there's the final of it. Now, what I want to do is move that thing over here closer to me. No, I did not want to do that. It looks like whenever it slid down, it went a little bit too far out of focus. So let's bring it back. That's not the laser's fault. Let's run Dumbo again. Baby Dumbo. All right, now we're running the line at 400 speed, 4,000 speed. So I doubled it again. Just remember, I'm not testing for accuracy or how good it looks. I'm just trying to get a feel for how fast it's cutting. And it's a 40-watt source. All right, that cut through at 700 millimeters per minute. It cut through that stuff. He flew right out of my hand. And getting it in focus, those lines definitely look better. And that's actually not too bad. I think we should run the lines faster. We'll see how fast this thing can go. Frame it. I'm going to double the line speed to 8,000 and keep the cut the same. So it's going to take right about a minute to mark the lines and then cut that out. That's not too bad. "47 seconds, actually. And those lines were running at 4,000 millimeters per minute, which is really fast. Not bad. I think I can drop the power on the cut and reduce that charring. But overall, let me see. Wrong camera. There we go. I think that's about it, unless somebody has something they want to see in particular. I do have a sheet of black acrylic. I could throw it under there and cut it if you wanted to see black acrylic. Let me know. If not, I will wrap this up. It would be interesting to see how well it does on the Gemini duets. I know the Lasermatic that's right there. I did a couple tests on the duets, which is it's like this. That is the gold that engraves black, and it's has the metal look. This is a thinner piece. But the Lasermatic did pretty good. Diodes don't do too bad. Two different speeds for the lines. The cut line is just an offset of that graphic. I just took the elephant and then did an offset, so it just made one line around it. You want to see the black acrylic? This is a big sheet. It'll basically take up all the room underneath this laser. I'm just going to knock stuff down in the meantime. Here's the sheet of black acrylic that I have. It's a little large. I've been wanting to cut it down a little smaller, so this would be a good opportunity. That's just my CO2 falling apart, that's all. All right, and CO2. There's the sheet of acrylic. I told you, it's as big as the laser. I'll try to get somewhat square on there at least. I think the focal gauge might be underneath the acrylic, and it is. There's the focal gauge. Oh, let me just move it. Oh, I made it angry. All right, let me home it. And all right, let's see. I'm not sure of the settings they advise for cutting the acrylic. Let's take a look. Roughly about 150 millimeters per minute, 2 passes. Is there anything in particular I want to do on this black acrylic? I just want to square out, or maybe a baby elephant again. All right. Let's see. Let's do the baby elephant again, just for comparison. I'll run a line pretty fast and then do the cut. At 150 and 2 passes for the cut. And you can decorate it maybe. All right, let's start it and see what it looks like. Somebody want to come over and weed this when it's done? It's not my favorite thing to do. Any other questions, comments, or smart remarks out there? Obviously, it switched to the cut. It's definitely slowed down. Let me take a peek and see if it looks like it's cutting through the first pass. It looks like it might be. It's hard for me to tell, that sheet's so big. Sometimes I'll use duct tape. Let's see. All right, it did cut through that in one pass. I'm going to stop it. Move it out of the way up here. But you can definitely see it cut through it in one shot. I need... Come on, Panda. I want to see if it left any mark where it made those lines. Don't see it. No. So it did not leave a mark where it made the lines, but it did cut it out in one pass, which is pretty cool. It did that. Now, I think if we could have ran those lines a little slower, it might have turned out a little better. Cut looks good, though. Still pretty cool, I would say. Let's see, Chris mentioned a leather hat patch. I've got an idea. I have a piece of leather right here. I could do that real fast. Actually, if I tweak those line settings, I think this guy would have looked much better. Not bad. I do like the clean cut, though. It's hard to get better than that. see. Okay, I'm going to run this elephant again. I'm not sure what setting to use for this leatherette. We're going to run it fast. I'm going to run it at 10,000 speed just because I'm going to see what it does. And then we'll cut it out. And I'm going to hit start. So it's now running a fill on the elephant at 10,000 speed, 40% power. That shouldn't take too long. And I widen the line interval to 0.085. I lost my glasses. I found them. I'm trying to figure out if that was a little too toasty for the engrave or not. This is called testing. I should have rehomed it after I stopped it mid-job, so it might not line up perfectly back over the top of the elephant that we cut out earlier. But that's my own fault. Let's see, the countdown timer says 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, but that's being set to run the cut pass twice, which we won't need that with this leatherette. One time it'll cut through it. Creality has in their Facebook group a dragon file posted, and it has different settings, and it's supposed to be ran on stainless steel and produce, or steel. I don't know if it's stainless or mild or what they used. I didn't research that far. But it's supposed to produce a bunch of different colors on the steel. Might have to run that at some point in time. I'm not going to do it on a live stream because it'll take forever. But just to see what happens. And I'll tell you what, there's another setting I need to adjust too, and that is the fast white space scanning. Speed that up a little bit. The Laser-matic. It is, yeah, 15,000 for the fast white space scan. Let me clean this just a second and then go to you. Man, that was just a wild guess at a setting. It's a little crispy. But not bad. Just for a guess at leatherette. I'll run that with a little less power, and that will look a lot better. And then let's see. I'm going to just adjust the fast white space scan just so we can see what kind of a difference that makes in the engraving speed. All right, I'm just going to run that same job again. I'm not going to cut it out. So that has considerably lowered our engraving time down. Now it's actually going in the white space approximately the same speed as the engrave. Now our countdown timer is going to be about 3 minutes total. So that shaved a couple minutes off. I try to make educated guesses. I'll just throw a setting out there and try it, and most of the time I'm pretty close. Most of the time, sometimes way off. I have a good bit of experience with diodes. I started with a diode and I had two Ortor Laser Master 2s. I ran those things for a while and had a fiber. And then I went with fiber and diode for a little while before I invested in a CO2. Now having the diodes back in play again has been very satisfying. Sometimes you just can't beat the quality of the diode, and they're fun to watch and fun to use and quite capable, especially with start out with a 0.5 watt diode, 3 watt diode, 5 watt. Now they're stacking them. Oh my gosh, how tall are the stacks going to get? Wouldn't surprise me if you see 10 or 12 of them stacked pretty soon. $100-watt blue diode laser. What would that be for using? Well, use 20 of them, stack them, and have 120 watt. Yep, but a 5 watt was unbelievable. Oh, I have it sitting around here somewhere. I'll find this and show it to you on screen after this is done. This guy right here is a Creality laser, and it was my first laser. And it's 1/2 watt that was meant to magnetically attach to your 3D printer. And you can see it used the PWM connection from the fan to control it, and a buck converter to convert it from 24 volts down to 12 volts. And here's another tiny 1/2 watt diode. I did not change the engrave settings, but with the fast white space scan, we were able to complete that job in about 2 minutes faster. And he still doesn't look too bad either. The one on the right. So still accurate, looks the same, despite finishing quicker with the fast white space scan turned on. So there's that. I'll tell you what is surprising about these diodes is where did I put it? Oh, here it is. This is just the head of the diode, quote, flashlight. So this attaches to the tube that holds the battery, and then you turn it on. It has a diode in here. And I measured the power output of this with the laser power meter, and just this thing alone was about 3.5 watts. So that's being sold at Amazon, calling it a flashlight, but it's a 3.5 watt diode laser, and it burns wood quite well. This is the one I used in those YouTube shorts of lighting the fireworks with the laser. It was very handy for lighting the fireworks. So that's it. That's the Creality Falcon 240 watt. I'll continue doing some testing with it and see how it performs doing actual engravings. And I'll report back, get some projects made for the Creality so they can display them on their table at LBX. They might be the main sponsor, but they're a tier 1 sponsor, so highest level sponsor. They're going to have a table set up all 3 days, so I'm going to make some projects to put out on their table. Not for me, but for them. And I think that's about it. Campfire starter. That would work. So much, I guess, think self-defense flashlights, you pull it out and you want to temporarily blind somebody with these, you could do permanent damage, which wouldn't be good. But anyway, that's it. I'm getting sleepy, and I thank everybody for tuning in and watching. If you have any comments or anything else you want to see in future live streams or episodes on my channel, send me a message on Facebook or leave a comment here, or you'll find me somewhere. Just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But that's it. Thanks again. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later.